Magic the Gathering has a massive flaw currently, and it's one that I'm hoping War of the Spark will be getting rid of. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to discuss, for me, what is Magic's biggest flaw at the time. Now, this is specifically in regards to flavor and story. Now, you may not think this matters to you, but underneath it will for most people. Stories need to be engaging, and for stories to be engaging, there are certain requirements. Now, what Magic the Gathering is missing currently in its storyline is very glaring. It's a huge hole, and they haven't even learned from their past in some regards. What they're missing are genuine stakes. This is something that I hope that War of the Sparks will be clearing up for us. Now, basically, what I want to do is go over what the problem is, and I'm going to use a couple of different animes to kind of exemplify what I'm talking about. I've been watching a lot of anime lately, and it's been helping to really solidify the issues that I'm seeing with Magic the Gathering. They haven't learned from their past in some ways, and they've lost some of what makes Magic the Gathering stories special, and that's stakes. The issue with the Gatewatch and this overarching story, and the crazy thing is the Gatewatch, the Oath of the Gatewatch was only like 2016. So it's only been a number of years, but it's made it feel like the situation is stretched out for eternity because it's probably been going on a fair bit longer than that. It just took the Gatewatch to really hammer home the concept. And the idea really, the problem is this: there are no real stakes in Magic the Gathering stories in terms of the planeswalkers and their existences. Sure, in particular planes, oh, we've got to save this plane, we've got to save this plane. There are always these massive threats to like the entire multiverse. The Eldrazi are going to destroy everything. Bolas is going to take everything over. But at the end of the day, it's really just nothing happened. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Magic the Gathering used to travel to a bunch of different worlds. We used to constantly go to new worlds and meet new planeswalkers, new characters, and things of that nature. But at this point, instead of going out and exploring the grand multiverse, we're just focused on following the Gatewatch wherever they go. And the problem is, the Gatewatch are basically invincible. They're basically invincible. That's what it feels like. What happens is, if you have no stakes, after a while, your brain will lose interest. The perfect examples for me are two animes that I've watched recently. One is Bleach, and one is Akame ga Kill. Now, Bleach is the example of pretty much no stakes land. At first, it was pretty cool. It brings you in with the crazy level of insane powers. But after all, you watch it for a bit and you start to realize how hollow Bleach is. It's basically a situation where no character on the side of good will ever have any long-term negative repercussions really happen to them at all. You have nobody, first of all, nobody dies in Bleach. Nobody dies. They can get hit by the most insane, powerful attacks, and then they'll just look like their shoulder's been cut, and they've got some cuts on their body, and they'll fall over, but they get medical attention, they'll be fine. They take powers away from a character, and then they just let them get them back. And then they take them away, and they let them get them back, and it's just, you know what's going to happen. It's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And there is no genuine danger to the main characters. Same deal with the Gatewatch. And then on the other hand, we have the other show I mentioned called Akame. And this is the show that really drilled into me just how much Magic is missing really believable storylines where we have massive, insanely powerful planeswalkers, right? Like Nicol Bolas and things like that. And we have no planeswalkers being destroyed. Like none. In recent history, how many planeswalkers can you think of that got wiped out? You have Venser, who did his great sacrifice all the way back in like time spiral times, right? And then you've got Elspeth, who kind of died, but really just went to the underworld. And then there was Xenagos, who it's like, we just saw him for a brief second, which is, Xenagos is probably the only reasonable part of the story we've had at all, where he got destroyed. But we weren't even sure because of what happened to Elspeth. They had to have it confirmed through Rosewater and asking him questions through his Tumblr or whatever. So they really don't do a great job of making you, there's no edge of your seat what's going to happen. A Kame, what happened in that is you have two sides. You have the Imperial Army, which serves a corrupt empire, and you have the Rebellion Army, which is trying to like take over and overthrow and get rid of this because they're just, basically the entire country is living under tyranny. There's not enough to eat. There's genuine problems, right? So they're looking to overthrow the empire. Now on both sides of this struggle, they have fleshed out believable, powerful characters that you like on both sides. So they make you like all the guys who are on the wrong side and all the guys who are on the right side. And they just start wiping these guys out. And they do it in like believable, like blink of an eye, snap of a finger, somebody just got bit in half. Like just amazing level. Good guys, bad guys are all getting wiped out till the very end of the series, until the very final episode. I had no idea who was going to survive. You would theorize about it, you would watch and go, who's gonna live? Who's gonna get wiped out? What's gonna happen? Is somebody gonna like, they would just hack people's arms off, all kinds of different things, where the majority of characters were, actually everybody, the people, even like the main characters that you follow, like the main guy who you think it's all about, who knows, is he gonna survive? Probably not, because it's a bloodbath. So we've got this situation where Magic the Gathering has strayed so far from this. Instead of the days of the Urza Weatherlight storyline, which did go on for too long. That's an issue with Magic the Gathering storylines now, is they go on for too long because Wizards of the Coast is all about, we're going to keep, well, at least Magic-wise, we're going to keep recycling. They want 50% of what they do to be reused worlds. They've gotten lazy in that regard. And I'm okay with it to a degree. Returning to a world a few times is okay. This third return to Ravnica is genuinely pushing it for me way too much, where it's like, what's the difference this time? It's autumn. You'll see some orange leaves blow by in front of Justicar's portal. That's not enough for me, but that's not my main nitpick. If the stories had real stakes, then I wouldn't care nearly as much about the revisiting of Planes. But the fact that you can expect to see the Gatewatch over and over ad nauseum without losing a single member, you have to understand that Planeswalkers used to be far more powerful. Back in the original days of Urza and where Bolas is supposed to come from, Planeswalkers were like immortal gods, essentially, that were really hard to destroy, right? And then the whole time issue happened with all these time rifts where all the Planeswalkers lost, there was a diminishment of Planeswalker power. When those rifts all got sealed, all Planeswalkers in existence got downgraded. This was Wizards' way of thematically being able to bring Planeswalker cards into the game, actually. That they couldn't justify it under the old storyline. So to get Planeswalkers into the game, they diminished the power level of all Planeswalkers. And yet here we have diminished walkers who are weaker than walkers have ever been, and none of them ever have real threats to their existence. They just keep going through their life. We're the Gatewatch. We're going everywhere. It's like Wizards of the Coast's own personal Avengers squad. We're like, well, we'll change a member here or there, but nobody ever gets wiped out. We see the same guys over and over. Hi, Jace. Hi, Chandra. Hi, Gideon. Hello, Liliana. Like, all of this is just happening over and over and over. There are no real stakes. It's just, here's another threat to the multiverse. I wonder if the Gatewatch will beat it. Of course they will, because they'll never get destroyed. It genuinely feels like they will never destroy Planeswalkers. So my hope for War of the Spark, and it's a hesitant hope. There's a lot of people out there who are like, they're definitely going to do this. I don't feel like they're definitely going to do the whole, let's destroy some Planeswalkers, because they have been so hesitant to do it so far. There are no stakes. They won't destroy beloved characters. Can you imagine what would happen if they obliterated Jace? Like, how much would that make you go, whoa? I mean, they named their proprietary font after Jace, right? Like the card font that they use is named after Jace. The first signature spellbook they use, Jace. Even when they're like, we're not going to bring the Gatewatch in, they're like, well, on the next one, we're still going to have Jace. You can even see him. You can even see him down here, right down here on the poster. There's a tiny little Jace. Now imagine if they took Jace, the living guild pact, and obliterated him. What would that mean? How would you feel after that? Nobody would be safe. It would leave you with this nail-biting situation of like, oh, are they going to destroy my favorite Planeswalkers? Who's going to get destroyed? On top of that, it would force them to create more interesting, compelling characters. Like, look at Angrath, the Minotaur Lord. He's pretty dope, honestly. He's insane from his desire to just try and get home to his family. He lost his mind on Ixalan, essentially, and just went around attacking pirate ships, sailing around, just taking things over, just trying to find a way to escape the plane to get back to his family. I mean, admittedly, getting back to your family, the family thing, is still a very much... We have a North American issue, where North American stories always have to have happy endings, and the heroes always have to win. Almost always, that's the way it goes. We do have some deviations. You'll see things like Game of Thrones, where, all right, there's actually some guts to this, where they're like, we are going to hack up some of your favorite characters. So that, to me, we need more of that. Wizards of the Coast plays it way too safe in their reusability and just shoving the same planeswalkers down our throats. The stories have no stakes. War of the Sparks is the first time I've genuinely been interested in what's going to happen in the Magic storyline for years and years. I can't actually remember the last time I was genuinely feeling invested in the Magic storyline and interested in it. But it was probably about 10 years ago at least. The stuff that they do is just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. We don't really have anything new to offer you. Just here's a big bad who it's been Bolas for way too long as well. The multiverse only has what, Bolas and like the Eldrazi, and that's it. That's it in terms of massive threats. That's it. The multiverse with all these endless planeswalkers. That's it. That's all we get. So to me, War of the Sparks is Wizards' opportunity to go ahead and fix this, to just take a bunch of planeswalkers out. For me, honestly, all it will take is them destroying one planeswalker. Just pick a well-known planeswalker and destroy him. If they do the nonsense where they just pick like, oh, check it out, Angrath is gone or whatever. If they just pick some of the new planeswalkers or ones they rarely use, it's not going to feel the same. What I need to see is the destruction of part of the Gatewatch, in all honesty. Wipe out part of the Gatewatch, and they need to destroy Bolas. They need to not just, oh, you know what, he got kind of destroyed and he's off in the meditation plane. And they don't, none of this time reversal stuff like they did with Ugin, where Ugin's a spirit dragon, but Sarkhan went back and brought him back. That part was okay because Ugin hadn't existed in his regular form before, so it was kind of interesting. But you can only do that reversal bringing people back so much. What they need to do is spread the planeswalkers out and let us see them occasionally. Not the same planeswalkers set after set. Different guys in different worlds where every couple of years, oh, hey, check it out. We're going to see what Jace is up to again. Instead of, here's Jace again, but he's got a different haircut. Here's Jace again, but he's got one arm uncovered in his outfit, guys. Look, he's a pirate guy now, and he's got one arm out of his outfit. Like, that's not, I'm sorry, but fashion differences aren't any, like, we need things that build character. Things that we need the characters to change. And for the longest time, the Gatewatch has been a static two-dimensional group that we are forced to follow around. Instead of going and exploring the multiverse, we're forced to go wherever they're going. We're essentially married to them, and they're a very domineering spouse who insists we go everywhere with them because they're afraid of being cheated on or something. So for me, I need to see a massive change in the storyline. The War of the Sparks trailer, where all the candles getting blown out, gives me a little bit of hope for that, but just how abysmally Wizards has been doing it makes me feel like I am still in the camp of I don't think they're going to destroy any planeswalkers. Now, I'm hoping to be wrong. I don't care. Let people come to the comments and be like, how do you feel now? I feel good. If they actually do it, I'm going to feel good because I don't feel the need to be right. I feel the need to share how I feel about this and to let you guys know what I find is the problem with this. You need meat in your stories, okay? Meat is important. And speaking of meat, actually, one second. Let's check in with the 6-color magic, and then we'll talk about some meat.
And together, we are the 6th color of magic!
All right, well, I said we would talk about meat, and we're going to talk about the saddest kind of meat. You see this right here? This is Meat Bar. What is Meat Bar, you ask? Well, I have endured the Meat Bar. Over on my other channel called Down the Hatch, where we do food tastings, I've tried these meat bars. Now I will link the video at the end here for you to check out so you can see exactly what a meat bar is. Is it what you think it's gonna be? Is it good? Is it bad? Do I seem happy? All right, so that being said, let's roll the golden scroll. The people who have my back on Patreon or through channel memberships. We are actually welcoming a few new members. So on the membership side, we have James Pionke. I'm sure I said Pionk. I don't know. I'm sure I said your name wrong. Thanks for joining up, brother. And on the Patreon side, we have Daniel Henry. Thanks for getting on board and leaving that nice comment on the video that you did as well. And we also need to thank Gwen Patton for increasing her Patreon pledge. Thank you very much. That was a pleasant surprise. I really appreciate that you guys value what I do enough to support me that way. So to all of you, I say, thanks for being here. Let me know what you think. Check out the meat bar! And I'll see you guys tomorrow.